Welcome back, Troglodytes, to the Trogly's Guitar Show, your daily dose of guitar information. We've got an update to the Trade Tuesday series this week. It's been a while since I've done a recap, so let's quickly go over this. We first started Season 2 out with a Glary GT602 acoustic guitar. That was then traded off for two effects pedals, a Nano Neo Mistress flanger and a Holy Stain multi-effects pedal. The Holy Stain was then traded for an LTD EC10 electric guitar, and the Nano Neo Mistress for a set of EMG Glen Tipton pickups. The LTD EC10 did not find a trade, so as per our rules, it was sold after a week for $120 cash. The pickups were traded off for an LTD EC256. The $120 was then used to purchase an Electra Outlaw MPC that I found locally, and the EC256 was traded for an Ibanez RGRT 621. From there, the Electra ended up netting me $463, and the Ibanez was traded locally for a 2005 Fender Stratocaster. From the money we got from the Electra, I purchased a Mike Mushak PRS SE baritone guitar, and after some issues with it, the total cost was $240. And then I had a great day with Robert Baker when he traded me his Dan Electro 84 Stratocaster, his Dan Electro 66T, and two Bantamps, the Blue Jay and the Meteor model for the 2005 Stratocaster. Here's where things started to take a turn in our trade series, where I wasn't getting many trade offers anymore. So the Dan Electro Strat ended up selling for $421, the Bantamp Meteor was sold for $110. The Bantamp Blue Jay saw $94, and with that money I went back to Robert and purchased a Bantamp Jackman from him to fulfill a different trade that was missed, the Jackman for an Epiphone Nicky 6 bass. From there, the Mike Mushak ended up selling for $324, and we netted $280 out of the Nicky 6 bass. Next, I purchased a 2018 Billie Joe Armstrong Les Paul Jr. for $750 to throw into our Trade Tuesday series, and this week we need to find out what else I purchased for the series, as well as what happened to the 66T. This week we actually have two unboxings to do. We will start with this one. It's a fairly lightweight box, so I'm guessing it's just a plain guitar without a gig bag. But this is one that I paid $400 for out of our existing cash bank, which to be honest is pretty considerable for this series. I don't think it's ever gotten this bad as just a, buy and sell fest, but fortunately, the trade offers just aren't coming in, and I think that's why I'm gonna give Trade Tuesday a break after Season 2 and try that other series out. But it looks like this was packed with everything that they could. But let's go ahead and finish opening her up. Ooh. Ah yes, one of these weird guitars. Now you guys have actually already seen the review of this one, at least that's the way I'm planning it right now. I'm opening this on Wednesday, but this will probably be the Fender Friday of last week. But I had initially purchased this one with Trade Tuesday in mind. So you can check out this video to learn more about this guitar. It's just a really interesting set neck Telecaster with P90 pickups. I mean, what is not to love? It's so crazy. I think after a nice little cleanup job, this will actually look pretty nice. Now, I was pretty excited to get that Telecaster because it's just something I've always wanted to check out. But this guitar has evaded me for so long. And we actually had a near miss with it once before on Trade Tuesday, but it got traded away before we could figure out the deal. But thankfully, I don't know, I think it got traded back, or he just made a deal for it back because he knew I wanted one. And we made a deal for the Dan Electro that's in this thing. That 66T is a fantastic guitar, so I hope he enjoys it. We didn't initially talk about giving that a gig bag, but Robert Baker actually ended up leaving that one with me. I think he felt bad because I was asking if the gig bags were included or not. Like there was some sort of miscommunication. I didn't expect him to leave it, I was just asking. But it didn't sound like he really needed it anyways. Man, people are packing stuff really well today. Whee! This is insanely heavy. It must be one of them Costa Rican cases. I think that's the area that they come out of when they're like just ridiculously heavy. All right, here it is. Gibson USA, so you know I got something good out of it. This model. Not everybody wants one. They're actually, I wouldn't call them easy to sell for, top dollar price, but I've just been fascinated with this because it has a cool built-in feature. The Sully Erna Les Paul. Looks like he runs a business, TF Custom Leather. I thought this had an interesting scent to it. Now I can place it, it's leather. So his name is Todd Flowers. You can check him out on Etsy, the new owners of Reverb, if you're interested in something like that. Ah, yes. So let's go ahead and get my first impressions here. But keep in mind, due to time constraints today, I'm actually going to review this in a separate video, because I've wanted to do a proper review of this guitar for so long. This is kind of cool. It's like a pearlescent sun. We've got some finish checking, which seems to be very prone on this model. I know Ron, you've probably seen him. He says that his keeps aging like an orange color, but it's kind of like a Les Paul Studio because you don't have any binding on the body, but it's still a full-bodied Les Paul. It's got the carved top. But what's interesting is you get these double star inlays, but you actually have black binding along the neck, so it's kind of like those 2018 Studios. But then the headstock is also a little bit special. You get a signature on the truss rod color, Sully Erna, and you get these cool little moons and a star with a Gibson mother of pearl logo. So I think these are some of the best values out there on the used market for just a one pickup, pretty nice guitar. And something else that's really cool is it has a built-in flanger. So I'm kind of interested to check that out. Let's look at this case though real quick. Like the interior is slightly off-white, like not what a regular one has. So maybe these cases are actually somewhat special. Is it Costa Rica? Yep. Made in Costa Rica. I don't know if you guys can see it, but them Costa Rican Gibson USA cases, they always weigh a ton. Like this thing is quite literally about like 15 pounds. So you can pick up an empty case and think there's a guitar in there, and then when there is a guitar in there, it's almost like 23 pounds. Before we sign off today, we gotta send some things out though. We need to get this packed up for him. So it was an even swap, but I covered all the shipping costs, so roughly $150 or so additional. That'll be taken from our total. I'm talking to you from the future now. He's received the guitar, he enjoys it, he plays it a lot, and I really was surprised by this Dan Electro 66T. I'd be really interested in trying like the vintage versions of these guitars. I think they're Mosrites. Maybe we'll see those on the channel one day just because of this remake. And now we've got to pack up the TC90. This thing, unfortunately, for Trade Tuesday, it's sold in under 4 hours of me posting it to Reverb, 3 hours after the video. It didn't come with a case, I was a little bit disappointed at that, so I gave the Kahaya gig bag, so it at least had something. But let me tell you guys, I got this amount on the screen. That's how much I got for the guitar. After you take out the fees and shipping, this is how much we netted. So I got about $100 into the Trade Tuesday series for this, but let me tell you guys, that's not worth it. This guitar way outplays how much it's worth. So definitely check one of these things out. I fell in love with this oddball Fender model. There are a lot of people that are like, no, that's not a Telecaster. And yeah, I might agree with you on this one, but the JA90 ones, they actually say Fender Telecaster on them, so you can't argue that model. I should have priced this one a couple $100 higher, I think. So that's all for this Trade Tuesday episode today, but we do have one more thing we need to do. Decide the winner of that beautiful $300 audio interface with MIDI controller. And here is our winner. Congratulations, Julian. He won with, I love the compatibility of this foot controller. It allows you to both control your amp, pedals, and a mic all at the same time. And you get all of the recording convenience in the same package. I hope you enjoy it and get some good use, but please reach out to me within 3 days to claim your prize.